Hey, hey, how's everyone doing? We are waiting for Lauren to come in, and we are just trying this new live broadcast out, so hopefully everything is going to work out perfect. We'll see. And here we go. All right, hang tight. I'm bringing in Lauren. She is here. It says, due to my poor wireless connection. There we go. She's connected. There
Hello.
we go. Hey.
Hi. I'm trying to
What's
get I forgot to charge my phone, so I'm trying to get it to stay standing up. Okay.
Good to see you.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I get really nervous, so I had to I don't know, I don't get nervous for anything except these team calls and my heart races. So just made some active and played some music before this.
Good. I'm in the same boat. We've done a lot of these, but I'm still like every time I do a live or even talk, and like all of a sudden my heart starts racing. I'm like, oh my goodness, what?
Yeah, that's how I feel, but it's okay.
It's
I can
good.
talk for days.
So, hey, thank you so much for coming on with us. If you are if you're on the video, just maybe chat something. Say, hey, video is good. Video is okay. Just want to make sure we are getting the best quality we can. Hey, if people say this sounds great, we can hear you guys. So, Lauren, why don't you just go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself? How did you get started with Plexus? What was your motivation and reason for, jumping on board with the Plexus company?
Okay, yeah. So, I'll start off by saying, so I am 19 and I started Plexus last January. So I was only 18 when I started. But I was a sophomore in college, or yeah, my sophomore year. I get confused. But I graduated 2 years early, so that's why my years don't add up. But at this point, I'd been in college and I don't know, I grew up competitively dancing. And so I was, active all the time until then. And then I also, with college, came stuff like sorority events and just going out to eat fast food all the time and being really busy. And so I got to this point that my health was just terrible. I felt so meh all the time. And that's what I tell my team now. I'm like, you're helping people not to feel meh. No one should go through their life just feeling okay when you can feel way better. So I decided to give it a shot. I tried everything, and I was just so fatigued that I lived in the sorority house. I would take even if I had 20 minutes, I would take a nap before going to class and just felt miserable. So I was like, whatever, I'm just going to try it. And it was the end of January when I ordered my pack, and I had to save up. I'm very blessed that my parents helped me out, but in terms of extra stuff, that's kind of on me. So I work retail. I worked or I still do, I guess, technically. But I work two different retail jobs and then taught cycle. I actually got to quit that job now, so that's fun. And then I also work at a princess place just occasionally. But local retailers, because I work at local boutiques, I was getting paid $8 an hour. So and they're only open 11 to 6. So hours are really bad and pay is bad. So not a good combination. So I saved up all my money, finally got the big weight loss essentials pack. But now I always tell people I use the Renew You essentials because that's what I take each day. But I got it, and within I remember it was 14 days, exactly 2 weeks, I already felt so much better. And my upline Tasha wanted to have a call with me, and I literally thought she was insane. She kept talking about the business, and I'm like, I'm not doing it. I don't want to share it. And I do, I already had my Instagram following, just you'd be so good. And I was just making excuses. I don't want to do it and everything. And remember we talked that day, and I'm walking into my condo as soon as she said, she was like, you should go to Vegas with us in June. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even want to do the business. And she's asking me to go to Vegas. I don't know what is happening here. I did end up going to Vegas though, but I decided why not? I share everything. So I was like, I'm just going to post a little bit here and there. And that's pretty much what I did for like a whole year, and that's why I didn't see. Do I sound okay? You I can like hear myself.
Yeah, you're getting a little echoey. I'm not sure if it's.
Let me make sure real quick. It's not on. Okay, well we'll see. Maybe it's because I'm by this. Let me move this laptop and see if it helps.
Way better.
Okay, I'll try again. So, I kind of shared like here and there, and just didn't, the business is just kind of like whatever, I'll post about it. And
Hey Lauren, is your phone on right now?
I'm on my phone.
Oh, you're on your phone. Okay, because we're still getting a little echo. I don't know if it's.
I can like hear what I just said a second ago.
Sorry. I was insisting that we try this live out, and we should have just stuck to Zoom, so it's my bad.
Oh, it's fine. I'm hearing myself again. Let me turn my Wi-Fi on and see if it helps.
We just get to hear you twice, which is really exciting.
You get all the info. Okay. I don't know why it keeps.
You're good. Just keep going. We'll roll with it.
Let me put my candle back to hold my back. Okay, so where is it? Oh, so I started sharing, and like I said, I was inconsistent and just kind of shared here and there. And then I did go to convention, and it definitely built my belief just in the company. So in terms of my why, when I started, it was just like, if I can share enough to get my products paid for, like that would be great. So I actually just recently looked at my commissions, and I did pretty much make enough to cover my products each month. So it's like I met that small goal. But then at convention, I remember we like snuck into, this is so bad. We like snuck into the Ruby like seating section. I was like, oh my God, they're so cool. Like I will never be Ruby. Like they are amazing. And I just left like seeing and hearing all these stories. And I was like, okay, I can do this. But I still didn't, I was on like that convention high, and I didn't necessarily implement the things that I learned until March of this year. And of course, we have this pandemic. All 4 places I work closed down. And I was like, okay, I've got to like lean into this. I have it, and I know that I can do well. So why not? So I started just being super consistent about posting, like just being bold and genuine about it, and really sharing not just the products but the business too. I think that was a big like game changer. And I kind of like have this why that it's like weird to say as a 19-year-old, but I've always thought that like I'm supposed to be a mom, and like my mom got to stay home with me growing up, and we're like really close, like she's my best friend. And I know that I want to have like that connection with my children one day and like my family. So my why is kind of just to be a stay-at-home mom, which sounds so like, I don't know, weird at this young age, but it's just something that I know is like shaped my life, and like why I am who I am is because I spent so much time with my mom. So I kind of just always like think about that and everything. But I did see a meme today that said like network marketers, they're not stay-at-home moms, they just live at work, which I was like, okay, that's probably true. But anyway, so in March, I just kind of buckled down, like started posting. And I just looked back. In March, I signed 3 ambassadors. That was it. And then I ended with 70 points. And then in April, me and like I noticed I had like some momentum, and I was getting like all these people added. I think it was like 17 level 1s that month. But I also ended up getting like, I think it was 3 business builders that started sharing. And so I kind of just utilized that and had all this momentum. My goal was just to get halfway to senior gold, but I ended up the very last day of the month, I needed 14 orders to hit senior gold. And I hadn't really said it out loud, and that's a big thing for me. Like if I say something out loud, I'm really big on like, if I promise something to myself, like I'll do whatever it takes to make it happen. So that last day, Megan Garrity, she's like 2 or 3 levels above me. She's like, do you realize you're so close to senior gold? And I was like, stop. Like, I don't want to say it because I don't want to disappoint myself. But then I was just like, okay, I can do this. So I had never sent like just a reach out message before, went through my whole Facebook list, like messaged all my friends, and I ended up signing like 9 level 1s that day. Or 10, and then I had one business builder that at like midnight, she signed like 3 people, like right before the clock struck. So I hit, and it just kind of like sprung all this like confidence and momentum. And so we just kind of ran with it. And ever since then, I've been just doing all the things. But so I ended that month with 255, and then May, I went for Ruby, but I ended up double ranking senior Ruby. So I did with, I think it was I think I ended 8 something. And then I remember like the beginning of June, we had just like a leaders call for our team. And we're like going around saying our goals. And I'm like, well, I'm just going to focus on customer care and just shoot for enrolled in July so I can go to Hawaii. And then we like got off the call and I called Tasha, my upline. I'm like, okay, wait, I think I'm just going to do it this month. Like, I'm not doing anything. So I might as well just take the momentum and go for it. So that's honestly what I did. People always are like, what's your secret? I'm like, I seriously just did the things. Like, we're not reinventing the wheel. We have all the tools and resources. It's just using them and make it happen. So just like buckled down in June, did all the things, and I hit on the 28th, I'm pretty sure. So it was really exciting. And yeah, so I guess you can ask me questions or if you have anything about that.
That is so awesome. I'm going to try to talk as little as I can because I definitely am getting the echo. So one question I have is obviously if you go to your Instagram page, you have a great brand already, like, or not already, but a great brand on your Instagram page. Did that happen prior to Plexus? Like, were you already building that ahead of time? And for people that may not have that, let's say you're brand new to Plexus right now, and they have 5 friends or whatever. What advice, suggestions would you have for that person?
Okay, yeah. So I got an iPhone in 5th grade, and I've always had this like crazy personality. So I got Instagram right away, and I've honestly, like with dance, I had a really big network, and I've just kind of grown it since then. So I have been fortunate that my following's been organic, and I've always just posted everything, and that's what I kind of, in terms of helping people that maybe don't have that following yet, or they're trying to build a brand for themselves. I always say, like, just post it all, because for me, I think the biggest thing that helps is when people reach out to me, even if I don't know them, they like feel like they know me because I literally post everything. Like, I post myself making my bed. I post like before this, I was like, oh, I do get nervous. I'm not this like perfect person. Like, I'm nervous to get on this call, and I post my dog and us going to the dog park and me like how I curl my hair, just like literally any and everything. I post it and I just have no shame. I'm like, this is me and that's my brand. So, but if you don't have that, you can kind of start with like, what are the like 5 things in your life that you want to showcase? So for me, if it wasn't like, if I didn't have one yet, it could be like, I love my corgi, my little dog, and then Plexus, like health and wellness and beauty and fashion, or like whatever those 5 things are for you. You can just kind of use that to start building your brand and saying like every time you make a post, say like what like 5 thing, which one does this fall under? Like, is this my brand or is this just me sharing a funny meme? Because I've like talked a lot about that with my girls like on their Facebook wall. Like, I see so many memes, like I'm like, oh, that's so funny, I should share it, but that's just going to clog up your feed and it doesn't add any value to the people that are looking at your post. So just kind of being strategic, like it sounds silly and it's like it's not that serious, but it's just thinking like every time I post, I'm like, what value is this going to bring to someone that reads it? And just kind of sticking to like the main key things that my life's about.
That's good. Very good. Very good. So there's a lot of people on our team page that are like wholesale ambassadors. They got started on these great products and they've seen some great results, but maybe they don't have an intention of necessarily building a business. But would you have any suggestions for them in terms of like, you know, um, when you got started, did was it in your thought process, I'm going to share with some of my friends and family just because I care about their health, or yeah, anything along those lines?
Yeah, so as like a leader, I've really utilized all the bonuses going on right now to like help like the happy wholesalers and just tell them like I do a lot of check-ins. So if they're like, I'm loving it, I had one girl just the other day say like, I just saw my mom and she was like, your face looks so much slimmer. And I was like, oh my gosh, well, other people are noticing it. You might as well like share with them what you're doing. And then I let them know, we have like right now, if you go silver, well, I don't say that. I just say if you help 3 friends, you're going to get $300 in referral bonuses, and that has really helped not only my business, but helped, those wholesalers see that they can make referral bonuses and they can help others, and it doesn't have to be this huge, like, you have 300 people on your team. It can just be, you just share with your friends because you love these products and, they can help them and you can get a referral bonus and all these things. So just like keeping it simple and sharing like that.
Cool. We have another visitor on the live. Your puppy coming on.
Oh yeah, my dog's right here.
Oh, sweet. Oh.
She's asleep. Say hi. Oh, she looks so creepy right now.
The Plexus puppy.
Yes, she's the emerald puppy. That's what we all call her.
So talk to us about your daily IPA hours, daily. What do you do on a day-to-day basis? For someone that maybe they're brand new to the business, they're like, man, I'm excited, but what do I do? I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Okay. So I took like notes from the questions. So the daily routine one kind of like made me laugh because like right now I literally have nothing to do in my life. I mean, I've gone like on trips even during this just to get away, but other than that, like when I'm home, I'm just home. So I have like my whole life to do whatever. But so like right when I get up, like I mentioned Instagram, I literally start posting on my stories right away. So just to like share that I'm up, like people can message me, whatever. And then I send a morning message to all of like my team. We have like a group message, and it's not anything like here's your IPA for the day. It's just like, hey, hope everyone's having a good Sunday or whatever, just to kind of touch base. Or else in like an inspirational quote or something like that. And then I respond to all of my messages. I've been really bad about getting behind recently, so I try to do that in the morning. And then this is kind of where like the IPA stuff comes in and what I tell my team. So like you should post each day. It doesn't have to be Plexus. You don't want your whole feed to be Plexus. But just put something out there each day and then reach out. So whether you're only reaching out to one person or 5 people, 10 people, 20, like you choose your pace, but you should reach out to someone that day. And then what else do we do? I have them, if they have business builders, like check in with them each day. Like for me, I try to check in with each of them quite frequently, but just kind of touching base with them, seeing how they're feeling, how you can help. Do they need post ideas or do they need help with responding to people or anything like that? And then for me personally, I also have like a list I keep. So I don't know if y'all have watched just like my YouTube video I made, but I do like a lot of Google Docs and I keep one for myself as well. So I also update that each day. So like if an auto didn't go out, I add them to my list of autos that didn't go out. Or if I added someone or my team added someone, I add them on the list and stuff like that. But honestly, every day is different. I try to just, show up each day even if I don't feel like it. And I do like a lot of posting on Instagram stories, reach out to my team, reach out to new people. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It just kind of varies on the day and what comes at me.
Cool. And for those that may have not heard the term IPA, we're talking about income producing activity. So just a little code word that we have in Plexusville.
Yeah, I didn't know what that meant like my whole first year. I remember at convention they kept bringing it up, and I was like, I don't want to ask because I feel like I'm the only one that does not know what that is. And everyone's like, "Do your IPA. This is your IPA," and I was like, "Oh my god, what is that?" Like I don't know. But yeah, now you know.
Sweet. So for like older people like myself, and I'm 44 years old, how would a guy or a gal get to reach? What would a girl 19 or a guy that's 19? How would I reach out to them? Like go into the younger crowd, and what are they looking for that's different than maybe my demographic or even a 30 demographic or whatever? What do you think is going to be different there?
So whenever you ask me that question beforehand, it's kind of like a tough one to me. I don't know, like I think it is that like a learning curve, but I would say a big thing you can utilize is like sharing my story or sharing like Austin Ryan and like finding those younger people. And I know they're like few and far to come by, but there are some out there. So like I have a few people that have messaged me and they said like, hey, I reached out to some of my girls to follow you and stuff just so they could see your posts. So you could even lead them like in that direction just to kind of like say like, hey, why don't you check out what they're doing? Like, I think you could do it too. And then I like try to take notes on this, and it was hard to come up with things, but I feel like beach. Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me shut this door. She's nuts. Okay, but I put like be trendy, and what I mean by that is not like act like you're 18 years old, but like use Instagram if you're not utilizing that, because that's what most the younger demographic is on. And like I said, post your life. Even though I'm only 19, like I said, my why has to do with being a mom. So like you never know, maybe someone else out there like feels the same way, or just like I know there was a question about what products are more popular for this age group, and I've noticed that like the lean, protein, and active and slim seem to be like trendier and like more what people are into. Like I know that I love to try Plexus and what it does for me, but I found that when I talk to people my age, that doesn't really like spark their interest. Like they're like, oh, BioCleanse, cool. But like active and the protein for some reason they like really like. So maybe kind of showcasing those more. But I will say, me and Austin are like doing a call on Tuesday also, and I think we're gonna try to brainstorm some more ideas on how to market to like Gen Z and millennials if you are not one of those.
Cool. Good stuff. So what would you say as far as in terms of your team? Do you have are you pretty well diversified? Is it mostly people in your age group?
A group of people. So on that question, I actually like on my notes, I put don't put yourself in a box. And so I don't like I reach out to all ages. I have people on my team that maybe their mom signed up and then they sign up their daughter and they do it together, or vice versa. I have people that are my friends' grandparents on the team. I have people that are in high school, moms that buy it for their kids. Like honestly, it's a whole mix of everything. And even with like business builders also, I have a range in that as well.
Cool. Good stuff. Well, we tackled the majority of the questions that I had written down. Maybe you have some others or any
Yeah.
other.
Let me see. One question was about like my customer care and how I like when I said I stepped it up, what I meant by that. So last year there was 1 month I added like 18 people and literally none of them buy anymore because I never checked in. It was just kind of like, oh, I added these people. It was actually the month of the iPad incentive, so I like earned all this stuff, and then it was just like whatever. Like I just didn't know that was such a key thing. So now I pretty much check in weekly. Like as soon as they buy. Sorry, my phone's being crazy. As soon as they buy, I like tell them, I tell them, sorry, to let me know as soon as they come in and like we're getting started the best way. We normally do like a three-way call after that. And then like once the products come in, put them in team pages, tag them and stuff if it like makes me think of them. I reach out like every single week, and again like I bring up the financial opportunities and everything like that. And another key thing is like form a real friendship with them outside of Plexus. So like I comment and interact on their posts like outside of that, so we're not just friends. Oh, okay, let me try that. Maybe that will help. I don't think it will die now. But so that way we have a connection other than like I actually talked to my girls yesterday because I had them do check-ins and their screenshot was like every message was only about Plexus. And I was like, how do you know this person other than Plexus? And they told me, and I'm like, okay, well talk to them about other than that. You don't want every text to them just like, hey, how do you like your products? And they're like, it's going great, and then you don't talk for another week, so you say the same exact thing. So just like interacting all the time with them and being their friend. And then let's see. Oh, one question was about how I train people to silver. So that I kind of already touched on that. I'm like really hands-on with them and like giving them post ideas, and we walk through the whole thing. We do a lot of three-way chats. And then, like I said, as soon as someone signs up, I tell them really quickly about the income opportunity and like or if I check in with them, like I said, if people are noticing it, I kind of tell them about referral bonuses and use like that verbiage. Like we talked, communicating with my team. I have a Facebook message. It's been pretty successful. I don't have like my own team page. I just use the Facebook group message, and I feel like all the girls feel like comfortable messaging in there. And we like shout out if someone adds someone, or if I'm gonna do like everyone that adds someone today gets entered for whatever prize and just stuff like that we do in there. And then so I message in there all the time, like 24/7. And then I message each of them individually. But I will say I try to keep everything on Facebook Messenger, because if I get on like text or Instagram, I find that I don't get back to them as quick. So I try to let them know like we're going to use like this platform. That way I can get back to you quicker and everything.
That's good. So you stick to Messenger almost 100% then?
Yeah, so it's kind of hard with younger generations since so many of them are on Instagram. Please, like this. Because they're already on there, but I've tried to kind of just transform them to Facebook. And another thing with that is a lot of people think I get probably most of my people from Instagram, but I would say probably 80% have been from Facebook. So
Wow.
like don't get discouraged by like an Instagram following or like a number, because I just talked to my upline today about how we don't even think I've utilized my Instagram to like the full extent at all. I just now started posting like this past month about Plexus on my actual feed. So we'll see where that goes, but I will say a lot of it comes from Facebook.
Oh, that's interesting. I would have expected, just based on your massive following on Instagram and the interaction, that you were just like killing it there.
Yes, I will say my numbers just went up. Once I hit Emerald, I got like 400 followers, and they're all Plexus. Like it was all Plexus, and now I'm getting like all these comments from all the Plexus people, so I'm getting all the love. So that's fun. But no, it definitely is a lot of Facebook, and like I said, I dance. So starting off, a lot of my like customers and ambassadors were like dance moms, a lot of them, and connections through that. So I actually started with getting more of not my age like in it. And then I think recently, now that I have grown my business, my age, I get a lot of messages like, oh, I thought that was fake. Now you have Alexis. Like, will you tell me more? Like, I've gotten that a lot recently. I've gotten, do you actually make that money? Are you lying? Like, stuff like that with my friends. But a lot of them went silver last month, and they're like, okay, I get it now. So, I don't know. It just comes with time sometimes.
So one thing you mentioned just recently, you mentioned the three-way message, and for someone that's brand new, they might not know even what that means. So let's say they're brand new on the product, they might be interested in telling their friend, family, but they're a little bit nervous. How do you utilize? What is a three-way message, and how do you utilize it?
Yeah, so I actually just made a video on my my YouTube about this too, but we just started like my team recently, like implementing as soon as you sign someone, even if you're like my level 2, I don't care, make a three-way chat with me. One, it's going to build a connection with me and them. So like you hope that someone never drops off, but you never know, maybe some of my girls are going to college, or maybe someone has a baby and they do. I want to have a connection with people that are not just my level 1. So that is the main reason. And also, I can bring up things like the referral bonuses, or just talk. I can check in with them too in there, and then they're comfortable with me. So if say they do have someone interested, then they can make a three-way chat with like me, them, and their potential, and I will kind of lead the conversation. Like obviously they'll still talk in it, but I can lead it, and I assume that after a few times that we do that, then they kind of get it, and they can do the same with their team and so on. So it just kind of helps like with training and like building connections and stuff like that.
That's great. That's great. Thank you on that. So also, again, there's a lot of people that are just wholesale customers that are jumping on this live, or they're going to be tagged to it. How real is it that someone can make an extra $300, $500, $1,000 a month in this business?
Yeah, so it's so simple. I always tell people, it's not easy, but it is simple. Like if you, I use the analogy a lot that like I can give you, all the ingredients to make a cake, but you have to go and make it. I looked at y'all's page. You have all the ingredients on here and like all the tools. So it's seriously just using those and making it happen. I'm very much so like a no excuse type of person and like a why not person. So why not take those resources, reach out to whoever added you to this page, and just by helping 3 friends, which could be your brother, cousin, or best friend, you're going to get $300. So even the richest person would want an extra $300. That's why so many people have multiple streams of income. So I just say, why not?
That's awesome. So any other like master Jedi tricks that you can think of, or any other things that like, boom, off the top of your head?
The like biggest thing, like as I've been overwhelmed with messages, I like tell people, one, I like send them my video, and then two, I'm like, this sounds so basic, but seriously, just be genuine and be bold. Like no one wants to join someone that is just like, well, I kind of think it's cool and like sometimes I make money from it. Like, no, tell them this is a real deal. Be bold about the products, be bold about the income opportunity, and be genuine. I know so many people are afraid to be salesy, but like if you're being genuine, like in your heart you are, you have nothing to worry about. So if you're doing those two things and you're using the tools and everything, you can make it happen.
Awesome. Okay, finally, last question.
Okay.
So we have a lot of people that are on our team that are shooting for like big ranks this month. They want to go to Hawaii. There's some people that want to go Emerald this month.
Yeah.
What like big, what do you have? What suggestions do you have for them to push over and get to that rank?
I think the biggest thing is your mindset, and I've had to like preach that onto my girls. Like I say, like I had everyone the beginning of this month vocalize your goal. Like so, I have this little like emerald mirror that I got at convention last year, and my upline was like, "I want you to look in this mirror and tell yourself like you're coming back to convention as an emerald." So I didn't necessarily utilize it then, but last month I seriously looked at this thing every day, and I was like, I'm making this promise to myself and I'm going to do whatever it takes to make it happen. So just, telling yourself you're going to do it no matter what. And so mindset is huge. And then one other thing is I like watch trainings all the time. I used to I still watch Disney YouTube, but I tell myself now, I'm like, you have to watch a training before you can watch something fun. I mean, this is a job. I'm getting paid to do it. So anyone else in any other field has to go through training. So look it up on YouTube. I've watched probably every single video Abby Kappa has ever posted. Even if it has nothing to do with me, I still watch it. But I would just say the biggest thing is your mindset and saying, I'm going to do this, and then just making it happen.
That is awesome. Thank you so much for joining us tonight and taking your time. Like I know you're getting just bombarded with requests and people wanting to jump on their team page and talk and whatnot. So we really value your time. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having me.
Hey, we just every time we close one of our team meetings, we close in prayer. So I'm just gonna pray over you if that's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, Father, we thank you, Lord, for Lauren. I thank you, Lord, for the gifts that are inside of her. We just bless her, Father God, and ask you just to continue to create a platform that will not only bless her and her family, but also glorify you. And we just thank you, Lord, for all the gifts that you planted inside of her. And we just pray over her team and these next months coming up and all the momentum that they have. We thank you, Lord, just for this special time tonight. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. And I post, me and Austin, Ryan are doing a call on Tuesday, so I can post the graphic for it in the comments too.
Yes. Thank you so much. We're excited to check that out as well.
Yeah, thank you all so much for having me.
All right. Take care. Thanks, Lauren.